Sorry folks, a little bit late making this video. A lot of things on my mind, a lot of things that I'm doing here, but it's a crucial time for Israel now. Israel is going to be making up its mind here probably very soon what it is that it plans on doing. I have the sun coming in over here, so if you see some glares of light, you'll know what's going on. All right, let's see. I have a couple of days that I'm not going to be available. Now, you can reply if you want, and I'll try to keep up with them. And I'll use my phone to do that. But I'm not going to be near or around. At least during the daytime, I'm not going to be. That's for a couple of days. Just to let you know that in advance. If you can hold your replies off until this coming Sunday, great. And if not, that's okay. I'll still do my best to get back to you. Okay, let's see. Next on the agenda, Israel has a plan A and there's a plan B. Let's go over plan B, which is very sketchy. This is coming out of the news. Times of Israel, if you want to go over there, and it is Israel has proposed a framework for a deal with Hamas that would see all the hostages released at once and the end of the fighting in Gaza Strip, along with safe passage out of the enclave Gaza Strip, along with a safe passage out for Sinwar and his associates. Okay? The proposed plan would see the release of Palestinian prisoners jailed in Israel, the demilitarization of the Strip, and a new system of governance for Gaza, the report says, and the report goes on. If you wish to take that in, that's in the Times of Israel. That is today, but we reported on it about a week ago. Well, there's too many loopholes. How many prisoners are going to be released? Let's see, some of the other questions that would come up. Where is Sinwar going to go? Where are the prisoners going to be released? When they're released, where are they going to go? The Gaza Strip being, what, demilitarized, that's the most wonderful thing, but then who's going to take over? You see my point? A lot of details yet have not been worked out, but that's plan B. All right, let's shift over to plan A. If those of you that have not been paying attention to the news, there has been over 5,000 pagers that were sold to Hezbollah, including some of Iran's military, and these pagers were exploding. All of them within about an hour's worth of time. Maybe a little bit longer, some others happened. That was huge. I mean, this was an invasion into Hezbollah that they never saw coming. And it's believed that Israel had something to do with it. That's not the important part. Won't go into the detail. The point is Hezbollah, over 2,500 have been seriously wounded and many have been killed because of these pagers. Wow. That's like something out of a, I don't know, James Bond movie, a 007 kind of thing. You know, kind of like the old, what did they have? They had, the old mystery novels and books that you read, and, then someone does this plan which is almost, unheard of, unthinkable. How did they even pull it off? Well, that's not the end of it. Only but a short period later, a bunch of the communication systems that Hezbollah is using, which we would kind of refer to as a walkie-talkie kind of thing, maybe a little advanced technology there from a walkie-talkie, but the bottom line is then they started blowing up. Well, all I can really say is Hezbollah's got to be thinking twice, because what they're going to say now, what they're saying now is, we're going all out. This is it. We're going to go into Israel and we're not going to stop, and we're going to keep on Hezbollah, northern Israel, and all that. Okay, so you see, this is kind of like stirred up the hornet's nest. What's going to happen next? Israel has decisions to make. Plan A is Israel. I think, this is just reading between the lines. I'm not going to give you articles because I don't have them, because there's a whole bunch that I read. And I accumulate that, and I'm giving you my thoughts. But remember, it's based on my thoughts and my understanding. I base it on Scripture, and what I see it is that God said is going to happen in end times through the prophecies. Are you keeping up? So in other words, I'm looking at this picture through the lens of Scripture. And the picture that I'm seeing is Israel's getting ready to attack Hezbollah. Stop. Time out. Israel does not want to go to war with Lebanon and Hezbollah. It wants to go to war with Hezbollah and the northern part of Israel, as they keep on attacking Israel with these missiles and drones, and Israel said, that is enough. We are prepared and ready to do something about it. But I don't think they were ready and prepared yet. But I think now, and I'm understanding, the start of this would be to rattle Hezbollah's cage big time. And there you have the pagers, and you have the walkie-talkie things that are blowing up. Hezbollah is rattled. Israel, let's move on. Israel says, what we're concerned with, everyone, plan A, is we don't want to go to war with Hezbollah. We want our people in our land, from southern Israel all the way to northern Israel, and that includes the border of Gaza Strip and the border of Lebanon, to be living in peace. Israel saying, leave us alone. West Bank, we're going to clear you out one way or the other. So you might as well just stop in your tracks. Hezbollah, we are prepared to go in and do a major maneuver military operation within the northern part of Israel, southern part of Lebanon. They do not want to go to war with all of Lebanon. I'm repeating myself, but I want you to see this picture. Now, Israel, for all practical purposes, has eliminated the strength, not all of it, of the most of Hamas in Gaza Strip. They're not able to do much of anything, and when they do, Israel sees what's going on and goes in, regardless where they are, whether they're in a refugee camp or not. They go in and they strike and they kill Hamas combatants. They're military. They're terrorist organization. Then they go in and strike. Hamas does not have much strength left. Sinwar knows this, but speaking boldly as if Sinwar was winning, which everyone can see he's not. So back to plan B, there may be something that develops, and we should keep our eyes on that for the next few weeks. I don't think it's going to happen right away because, like I said, of the details. Plan B, Sinwar be escorted out of the Gaza Strip. And then what's left over in there, they lay down their guns. It becomes demilitarized. And then who's going to take it over? That's part of the plan B. Plan A, back again. Israel eliminates Hezbollah in the northern part of Israel, southern part of Lebanon, securing Israel enough that they feel that they can dwell safe. And that's those evacuees from their homes in Israel want to go back again and feel safe. They want to live in peace. Do you know where this is going next? What is being said? Israel is saying, we don't want a war to go any further than what it has gone. We're willing to fight for our peace and safety in northern Israel, and we're willing to fight for our peace and safety in southern Israel, and leave us alone, is what Israel is saying. Now, back to Paul, 1 Thessalonians 5:3. He said when they say peace and safety, they didn't say they're going to have it. Think, folks. This whole thing is moving in a direction that is clearly Scripture. As Israel begins now to saying, enforcing its hand, saying it wants to live left alone. Leave us alone. Quit firing your missiles at us. And again, in Gaza Strip, they're pretty much neutralized there. That doesn't mean there can't be one or two little excursions here and there that pop up, and then Israel has to take care of it. But they can easily do that. They're moving their troops, their power, towards Hezbollah in southern Lebanon to eliminate their ability to be able to fire rockets into Israel. Okay, I've gone over this quite a bit so that you can get the big picture here. You can start to see, because there is a time, undoubtedly, completely believed by me, with total faith in Scripture, that it says that God says, I am going to deal with my children in Israel for 7 years, Daniel 9:24 through 27. In the last 7 years, he said what he's going to do. He's going to eliminate Israel's surrounding enemies in such a way that they will be able to build a temple and sacrifice. There's the whole point. There's a time when God steps in. When is that? Back to Paul, faithfully honoring God, has said that when they say peace and safety, when they're saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them. What's next? What's plan A, plan B? Let's follow through and see where it's headed to. Is Israel going to establish itself as a nation being left alone from all surrounding enemies? That includes Houthi, Iran, Jordan. How is all that going to happen? Picture it. Put it in your mind. Put it all together. It's going to happen. There's no doubt. Scripture said so. But it's going to be when God does his action. But Israel's in a major fight right now, risking probably almost everything because of everyone's worried about this going into a big major war. I don't see that. The only thing that's going to happen that is major is when God steps in. Zechariah 12 tells you what he's going to do. Psalms 83 speaks of this time specifically. Paul talks about this time and this moment within our history of the times, bringing us all the way through Scripture up to today. 1 Thessalonians 5:3, then 5:1, Paul says, I need not have to write unto you, for you will know the season and seasons. And then down 5:3, when they are saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them. Folks, if this isn't lining up, I'm lost. And I don't think I am. So I'm just saying that rhetorically. Let's move on to something different, something else. You want to explain it to me, I'll certainly listen. Okay, let's recap. Let's do a recap. Israel is in a very serious time right now to where it has to make up its mind because of those pagers and of those walkie-talkies that went off. I believe that was part of the start of Israel threatening Hezbollah enough to be able to say, we're coming in and we're clearing not Hezbollah out of Lebanon. We're clearing the land northern of Israel so we can live peacefully and safely. And they've already basically established that in southern Israel. So all of those that have been evacuated from their homes, that have been threatened by bombs and missiles, they will no longer have to worry about that. They can move back into their land again. And Israel then from that point will use its military to keep Israel just in its little land safe. But God has another plan. And that's my whole point. Plan A, Plan B, only leads us to the seriousness of this situation and something that we should be paying attention to over the next couple of weeks. Okay, enough for now. We're going to go more into it on Sunday. Again, I'm sorry. It's important that I spend the next couple of days. I'll be home in the evenings, but I'll be gone during the daytime. So I'll try to keep up with your replies, but I'll be using my phone because I won't be near my computer. So with that in mind, reply if you like. If you have questions, I'll do my best to get back to you. I might even come home in the evenings and take care of a lot of it so you know what I'm doing if I don't reply right away. Good enough? All right, until Sunday, I hope this was helpful because, folks, a lot is happening right now. Let's go from there until Sunday.